The sky was dark. Black clouds moved fast like angry waves. Thunder rolled across the land. Lightning flashed in the distance. A silver alien ship broke through the clouds. Smoke came from its engines. The ship was falling fast. Inside the ship, a young alien girl sat in the pilot's seat. Her long white hair covered her glowing blue eyes. Her skin was smooth and silver blue. She wore a sharp royal uniform with a golden mark on her chest, the symbol of the highborn house of Viren. Her name was Princess Savannah. The ship shook hard. Alarms screamed. System failure. Engines offline. Crash landing in 10, 9. Savannah gritted her teeth. I'm not dying here, she whispered. She pulled hard on the controls, trying to guide the ship, but it was too late. The ship slammed into the ground with a massive boom, sliding through a forest of black trees. Fire and metal flew everywhere. Silence followed. Smoke filled the air. The ship was broken in half. A hatch opened. Savannah crawled out, breathing hard. Her left arm was bleeding. Sparks danced around her. Her golden mark was cracked. She stood up slowly, looking at the strange planet. The sky was purple. The air smelled like ash. She had never seen a place like this before. Where am I? She said, looking around. Suddenly she heard something. Footsteps. Slow and heavy. Savannah turned quickly, pulling out a small laser pistol from her belt. Her hand shook. Out of the shadows came a man. He was tall, wearing black armor with a red helmet. A small human flag was painted on his shoulder. Savannah's eyes went wide. A human? The man raised his hands, showing he had no weapon in. Hand, easy, he said. I saw your ship go down. Are you okay? Savannah pointed her gun at him. Don't come closer, she said sharply. I don't want your touch. The man paused. His voice was calm. I'm not here to hurt. You're injured. Let me help. Savannah's leg gave out. She fell to her knees. The pain from her arm grew worse. She tried to stay strong, but her vision blurred. The human came closer, carefully. Stay back, she hissed, trying to lift the gun, but he knelt beside her and gently caught her before she fell. Savannah flinched. Her eyes burned with anger. I said, don't touch me. I am highborn. The man looked into her eyes. His voice was quiet. And I'm trying to keep you alive. Suddenly, a loud roar came from the trees. The ground shook. The man stood and turned fast, pulling a weapon from his back. A beast jumped out from the forest. It had 6 legs, sharp teeth, and red eyes. It looked hungry. Savannah froze. She couldn't move, but the human didn't wait. He fired 3 shots. The beast screamed and fell. Smoke rose from its body. Savannah stared at him. Why did you save me? She asked, confused. He looked at her, then offered his hand. Because no one else is coming, and I don't leave people behind. She looked at his hand, but didn't take it. He picked her up gently, carrying her through the forest. She tried to fight him, but her strength was gone. You'll regret this, she muttered. Maybe, he replied, but not today. They moved through the strange world. The trees were tall and black. The sky kept flashing with storms. Strange creatures watched from the shadows. Savannah kept glancing at him. His armor was scratched. His face was hidden. He was just a human, but he didn't seem like the monster her people always spoke about. What's your name? She asked. Softly. Sergeant Kane, he said. You know who I am? Yeah, he said. Highborn, royal, dangerous, but right now you're just another survivor. Savannah didn't answer. For the first time in her life, someone touched her without bowing, without asking, without fear, and she hated that it made her feel safe. The wind howled like a dying beast. Rain poured from the strange purple sky, washing blood and dirt from her silver skin. Princess Savannah lay under a dark tree, breathing fast. Her eyes blinked slowly. She was still alive, but that made no sense. I should be dead, she whispered. She remembered fire. She remembered crashing. And then? Him, footsteps, heavy, careful, human. Sergeant Kane stood over her. His helmet was off now, revealing a scarred face and tired eyes. His hair was short and dark, soaked by rain. He held a strange tool in his hand. Stay still, he said. I need to close that wound on your arm. Savannah's eyes narrowed. If you touch me again, I'll shoot you. Her voice was cold. Royal, sharp, but Kane didn't stop. He pulled up her sleeve. Her blue blood ran down her arm like ink. She winced but didn't pull away. The pain was too strong. He pressed a glowing patch onto the wound. It hissed, then clicked. There, it's sealed. Savannah stared at him in silence. No one, not even her own guards, had ever touched her without permission. No one had dared. Humans were supposed to be dirty, dangerous, wild. So why did this one save her? Why did his touch feel gentle? Why are you helping me? She asked at last. Kane didn't look at her. Because if I leave you here, you'll die. You don't even know me. He paused, then met her eyes. I know you're lost, and scared, and bleeding. That's enough. Savannah looked away. She hated this planet. She hated this situation. But most of all, she hated that this human made her feel weak. Suddenly, the ground rumbled. From the forest, more creatures came, not like the beast from before. These were smaller but faster. Their eyes glowed yellow. Their claws scratched the earth. Savannah's eyes widened. They're hunting in packs, she said. We're not safe here. Kane nodded. He grabbed his rifle. We move now. He helped her to her feet. She didn't stop him this time. The two ran through the forest, dodging roots and rocks. The creatures followed, growling and snapping. Savannah's heart pounded. Every sound felt louder. Every step felt slower. Suddenly, Kane pulled her behind a rock wall. He tapped on a stone. A hidden door opened. This way. They rushed inside. The door slammed shut behind them. Darkness swallowed them whole. Kane turned on a small light. They stood in a metal tunnel. Rusty but safe. Savannah leaned against the wall, breathing hard. What is this place? Old human scout bunker, Kane said. Abandoned, but it'll hold. She stared at the walls. Everything here was human-made. Strange writing, rough chairs, cold lights. She didn't belong here, but she was still alive. You were prepared for this, she said quietly. Kane shrugged. I wasn't expecting to find royalty, just wreckage. But here we are. She frowned. What do you want from me? He looked tired. Nothing. Just trying to survive, same as you. Savannah didn't believe him. No one ever wanted nothing. She crossed her arms. The pain in her body was fading, but the storm inside her mind was only growing. Who shot her ship? Why was she sent alone? And why did this human risk his life for her? Silence had waked inside the cold, dark bunker. The only sound was the hum of old human machines. Lights flickered on the walls, like they were struggling to stay alive just like her. Princess Savannah sat on the floor, her knees pulled to her chest. Her silver skin was marked with bruises. Her long hair, once perfect, now hung wild across her face. She had not spoken in hours. Sergeant Kane sat across the room, cleaning his weapon. He said nothing either. The silence between them was thick, but not empty. Something was changing. Slowly. Finally, Savannah broke the silence. You humans were banned from my galaxy over 60 years ago. Kane didn't look up. Yeah, I know. So why are you here? He paused, then spoke softly. Because war is coming. And someone doesn't want peace. Savannah stood up. That someone is my people. Kane finally looked at her. You're sure? She nodded slowly. They told me I was on a diplomatic mission. But my ship was unguarded, no escort, no signal beacon. Only one way to die quietly in deep space, or crash on this cursed planet. She looked into the shadows of the bunker. Her voice trembled, not with fear, but something worse, doubt. They didn't want me to succeed. They wanted me to disappear. Kane leaned forward. But why you? Zavanna closed her eyes. Because I wanted peace with humans. She reached into her boot and pulled out a small metal cube. It glowed faintly with golden light. This holds a message, a proposal. A plan for alliance between the Viren highborn and human colonies. My father, the Emperor, didn't know I had it. I created it in secret with help from my mother's side. Kane's eyes narrowed. Your mother was human? Zavanna nodded slowly. She died when I was young. They never spoke her name. It was like she never existed. But she left me memories. And questions. She tossed the cube to Kane. See for yourself. He pressed the button. A soft hologram appeared. A younger Zavanna stood in the light, her voice calm but proud. To the leaders of Earth and her colonies, I offer peace, knowledge, and trade. I offer friendship. And I offer warning. There are those in my own house who would see you destroyed. The message ended. Kane looked up at her. You risked everything. Zavanna didn't answer. She was staring at the wall now, at a faded human map that showed stars and routes long forgotten. My people taught me humans were monsters, but the only one who saved me was one of you. I'm not a hero, Kane said. I'm just a soldier who got lost and found someone worse off. You could have left me, she said. I almost did. That made her smile, just for a moment, then the smile faded. If they find out I'm alive, they'll try again. Then we make sure they don't find you, Kane said. Zavanna looked at him. You'd help me? Even after everything humans have lost because of the highborn. Kane stood and walked to the door. Let's just say I've seen worse company then. A half-human princess. He opened the door slightly. Outside, the storm had passed. But the danger hadn't. Zavanna followed him, clutching the cube in her hand. I have to show this to someone who will listen. Someone in power. That won't be easy, Kane said. But it starts with surviving the night. And with that, they stepped into the darkness again, not as enemies, not as friends, but something new. Something dangerous. Somewhere deep underground. A red light blinked. A camera lens turned slowly. A soft beep echoed. Target found, signal active, far above, in the old bunker. Zavanna woke with a start. Something felt wrong. The air was too still. The silence was too perfect. Sergeant Kane sat near the door, half asleep, rifle across his lap. But even he stirred at the same moment, his instincts sharp after too many battles. Did you hear that? Zavanna whispered. He nodded, already standing. He scanned the walls, the corners, the ceiling. Nothing moved. Nothing made a sound, but something was watching. Kane stepped toward an old terminal on the wall, dusty, dead for years. But now, one light blinked. That wasn't on before, he muttered. Zavanna stepped beside him. What does it mean? It means this place isn't dead. Someone reactivated the power. He touched the screen, static. Then a fuzzy image appeared. It showed the hallway outside. And two glowing yellow eyes staring into the camera. Zavanna's breath caught. That's not an animal. Kane tapped a button. The image vanished. It's a scout drone, Viren tech. Zavanna's voice trembled. But only the Royal Guard uses those. They should be protecting me, not tracking me. Kane looked at her with calm eyes. Looks like someone sent your people to finish the job. The truth hit her like a punch. Her hands curled into fists. Someone betrayed me. Not someone, Kane said. Someone close. Someone with access to your mission data, your route, your ship codes. Zavanna sat down slowly, eyes blank. I thought my crash was just a failure, but it was a setup. She looked at Kane. They want me dead because I tried to make peace. I broke their rules. Suddenly, the floor rumbled. A low growl echoed through the bunker. The old metal door shook. We have to move now, Kane said. This place is compromised. He pulled out a small tracking device from his pack and tossed it on the floor. A map glowed, showing tunnels under the ground. There's an old human outpost 2 kilometers east. Abandoned. Hopefully, Savannah stood. Her face was no longer filled with fear but fire. Then let's go. I'm done hiding. As they moved through the dark tunnels, her thoughts raced. Who betrayed her? Was it someone in her father's court? A general? A royal cousin? Someone who smiled at her and wanted her dead? Suddenly she stopped. Kane. Yeah? How do I know I can trust you? He didn't stop walking. You don't. He turned slightly. But I saved you twice now. That's gotta count for something. Savannah smirked. Maybe. They kept walking, shadows dancing along the walls. Behind them, something small rolled through the tunnel, almost silent. A black spy drone, watching, recording. Far away, in a ship orbiting the planet, someone watched the footage. A tall figure. In royal armor. A woman with cold silver eyes. She touched the screen gently. Little cousin, you should have died in that crash. She turned to her soldiers. Send the order. No survivors. Asterisk. The sky opened like a wound. Fire streaked through the clouds as a ship broke through the atmosphere. Its engines roaring. Its wings wide like a predator. It was human-made. Fast, sharp, armed. From the ground, Savannah watched it descend, but her heart didn't feel relief. It felt warning. That's your people, she said quietly. Kane looked up and nodded. Yeah, finally. The ship landed with a hiss, steam rising around it. The ramp opened. 2 armored humans stepped out, weapons ready. One of them took off her helmet. A woman with sharp eyes and a voice full of command. Sergeant Kane. You're late. Kane walked forward. Had company. She's the one I told you about. The woman looked at Savannah. Her eyes narrowed. That's her? The highborn? Savannah stood tall, her royal presence returning. You speak like I'm a thing, not a person, the woman smirked. You're a walking treaty or a walking war, princess. Depends on what you do next. Savannah didn't blink. Suddenly, a voice spoke from the ship's speaker. Mission complete. Extract both targets. Leave immediately. Savannah stepped back. No, everyone turned to her. I'm not leaving, she said. Not yet, Kane frowned. Savannah, this is our chance to get out. This planet's not safe. Exactly, she said. And if we leave now, we lose our only chance to find out who betrayed me and stop the next attack. She turned to Kane. They're hunting me, Kane. If they think I'm dead, they'll move on to the next part of their plan. Maybe Earth, maybe another Alliance target. The human commander stepped closer. This wasn't the plan, Sergeant. Kane looked at her. Then looked at Savannah. He made his choice. We follow the new plan. The commander's eyes narrowed. You're risking your career over an alien? No, he said. I'm risking it over the truth. Savannah almost smiled, but didn't. There was no time for feelings. Suddenly, the sound of engines echoed again. But this time, it wasn't a human ship. From the clouds above, a dark Varen warcraft appeared. They're here, Savannah said. Too fast. They followed your signal. The human commander shouted. Get to the ship, now. But Savannah didn't move. They'll follow. You're a target now too. She turned to Kane. We split up. I'll draw them away. You take the message cube and send it to someone who can stop this. Kane grabbed her arm. Savannah, she pulled away, firm but calm. I'm not the same girl who crashed here, Kane. I'm done running. Kane held her gaze for a long moment. Then, he handed her a beacon. You have 10 hours before they lock the skies. Don't die before then. I wasn't planning to. Savannah turned, her cloak blowing in the wind. As the dark ship above prepared to land, she disappeared into the trees alone. But not weak. Far above, in the Viren command ship, her cousin. Watch the sensors. She's still alive. The officer beside her looked worried. Shall we pursue? No, the cousin said coldly. We let her think she's free. Then we end this. On our terms. The door was sealed with blood. Savannah stood before it, her hands shaking, not from fear, but from what she might find behind it. This place was never meant to be discovered. It wasn't on any map, not even in the royal database. It was hidden. Beneath a mountain of dead satellites and wrecked ships. A forgotten Viren archive. She pressed her palm to the lock. It scanned her. DNA. Click. The door opened with a hiss of cold air. Inside, dust floated like ghosts. Rows of glowing data pillars lit up, reacting to her presence. She stepped forward, her boots echoing in the silent chamber. This place was built for royals only. She was meant to come here one day, but not like this. She tapped the console. A screen came alive, showing files, some marked classified, others marked cleared for Emperor only. Her name flashed. Savannah, Mission 973, a diplomatic cover, objective, eliminate peace risk. Her breath caught. What? She opened the file and saw her face under the heading. High threat. Potential sympathizer. Must not return. A video message loaded. Her father's voice filled the room. The human question must end now. Savannah is young, confused. Her heart is soft like her mother's. She speaks of peace. But peace will break our rule. Her death must appear accidental. Savannah stepped back. The words felt like knives. Her father, the Emperor, had sent her to die. Not the enemy, not the humans. Her own blood. You lied to me, she whispered. You all lied. Suddenly the screen changed. A second voice, older, female. If you are seeing this, Savannah, then you've survived what I could not. The image shifted and Savannah froze. It was her mother, long thought dead, but alive in this recording. I left this message inside a secret channel, one only you could find. They told you I died in war, but the truth is, I was silenced. For loving your father, for loving peace, for loving you. Tears welled in Savannah's eyes. You carry both worlds in you, her mother said. Human and highborn. That is not weakness, it is power. One day, they will fear that power. They already do. The message faded. Savannah stood in silence, surrounded by truth. Her entire life had been built on lies. Now she knew who she really was, and what she had to do. Suddenly, the alarm rang. Warning. Intruders detected. Kane's voice crackled over the device she still wore. Savannah, your cousin's forces just landed at the archive site. You need to move now. She grabbed the data cube and slid it into her belt. Not yet. I'm downloading everything. The truth has to get out. There's no time. Savannah's eyes lit with fire. They tried to erase me, but I'm still standing. And I'm not leaving empty-handed. She pressed a button. The system copied every file onto a small drive. Red lights flashed. Outside. Viren soldiers rushed down the mountain. But Savannah didn't run. Not this time. She walked out of the archive with her head high, truth in her hands and fire in her heart. The sky was burning. Fires spread across the forest. Ships fell like dying stars. Explosions lit the horizon. Savannah stood on a rocky hill, her silver skin glowing in the flames. Wind tore through her hair. Smoke filled her lungs, but she didn't flinch. In her hand was the data cube, the truth about the Empire, the betrayal, the lies. Behind her, Sergeant Kane lay wounded, blood on his armor, breathing shallow. You shouldn't have come back, he said weakly. She knelt beside him. You said you'd risk everything for the truth. So I came back with it. Kane smiled, just a little. Always the stubborn one. She pressed the cube into his hand. You have to take this. Get it off-world. Get it to someone who can broadcast it. What about you? Zavanna looked up. A Viren warship hovered in the sky above them. A royal shuttle descended sleek, dark, deadly. They want me alive, for now. Kane reached for her hand. You don't owe them anything. Zavanna's voice was quiet, but strong. I owe the galaxy the truth. I owe myself a choice. Suddenly, the shuttle landed. The ramp dropped. And from the mist, her cousin stepped out, clad in black royal armor, eyes cold like ice. You survived longer than expected, she said. Zavanna stood. And you failed faster than expected. Her cousin laughed. You have a decision to make. Return. With us, or die here with your pet human. Zavanna glanced at Kane, then looked back. No, you're the ones with the decision now. She pressed a button on her wrist. A signal flashed from the cube. The files are uploading. To every major channel across 5 systems. The truth is no longer a secret. Her cousin's face changed, rage replacing pride. You've doomed us all. No, Zavanna said. I freed them. Blaster fire erupted. Zavanna pulled Kane to cover, her own gun blazing back. Sparks flew. Stone cracked. But she wasn't afraid anymore. This time, she wasn't running. She was fighting for the truth, for her mother, for the human who believed in her when no one else did. And then it was over. The royal forces pulled back. The signal went out. The galaxy saw everything. The Emperor's lies, the assassination plan, Zavanna's bravery. 2 days later, aboard a human cruiser orbiting safe space, Zavanna stood at a window. Cleaned, healed, but changed. Kane walked in, arm bandaged. They're calling you a traitor, he said. I know. Also, a hero. She didn't smile. Not yet. I regret one thing, she said softly. Pushing you away. When you were the only one trying to save me. Kane looked at her for a long moment. What now? She turned from the window. Now? We build something new. Not as human. Not as highborn. But something better. She reached out her hand. This time, she was the one who offered the touch. And this time, she meant it.